Good morning, children. Sairam. Children, today I am here with the second presentation of chapter Electricity in Physics. First of all, I will discuss about the topics which we have covered earlier in video 1, and then I will tell you about the topics which we are going to cover in this present video now. Okay, children, now the topics which we have covered earlier in part 1. Number 1, electric charges and their properties, conductors and insulators, potential difference, types of electricity, electric current, free electrons, direction of conventional current, direction of flow of charges or electrons in a conductor. And the topics which we are going to cover now are electric circuit, circuit symbols, Ohm's law, graph between V and I, resistance, factors affecting resistance, resistivity, difference between resistance and resistivity, conductors, insulators and semiconductors on the basis of resistance. And then at last I will tell you some important formulae for numericals. Now children, our topic is electric circuit. Children, you all are aware of electric circuit as you have made electric circuit in the science activity of class 8th or 7th. And I know you all are familiar with the materials which you have used in making electric circuit. I mean electric wire, bulb, switch, cell or battery, etc. In 10th class also you are having the same topic, electricity, and the definition of electric circuit is: electric circuit is a closed or continuous path through which an electric current can flow. It consists of resistances like bulb, connecting wires, switch, cell or battery, etc. And children, to draw electric circuit, we do not use the actual pictures, the actual sketches of electric wire, bulb, cell, battery, switches, etc. We use their symbols. The symbols are known as circuit symbols. And now I am showing you some circuit symbols. Now here you can see some circuit symbols. Here you can see the symbol of electric cell, which is having two lines. One is longer and the second one is shorter. The longer line shows the positive terminal and the shorter line shows the negative terminal. Now you can see the second symbol, that is of battery. Battery means combination of cells. When you are joining two or more cells together, then it is known as battery. Here you can see three cells are joined together and then it is known as battery. After this you are having a plug key where switch is open. When switch is open, then no current flows in the circuit. So here is the symbol of open circuit. Now the next one is plug key when the switch is closed. When the switch is closed, then electric current flows in the circuit. Then we are having a joint wire symbol, wires crossing without joining, the symbol of electric bulb, resistor, variable resistance or a rheostat, emitter symbol, and then we are having the symbol of voltmeter. In this way you can draw different symbols, and these symbols you can use in making electric circuit. Now children, in this slide I am showing you the diagram of electric circuit. This electric circuit consists of various components. You can see the symbol of bulb here. You can see the symbol of bulb here. Again you can see the symbol of battery. This battery consists of two cells. Now this is the symbol of key. This is closed key, and closed key means in this circuit current is flowing. Here you can see another symbol. It is having A letter. This is the symbol of emitter. Emitter is the device or instrument which measures the amount of current. Now after all these things, you can see some arrows are here. You can see these are the arrows. You can see some arrows are here. With the help of these arrows, we can show the flow of current. Now this is the electric circuit diagram. Now children, the next topic is Ohm's law. Ohm's law gave the relationship between potential difference and electric current flowing in a conductor. According to Ohm's law, if the current is constant, if the temperature is constant, then the electric current is always directly proportional to the potential difference across the two ends of a conductor. It gives an expression V is equals to IR. Here R is a constant and this R constant is known as resistance. Now children, with the help of this relationship V is equals to IR, we can understand that V, potential difference, is directly proportional to I, current. Means if potential difference is increased, then current will also increase, and if potential difference is decreased, the current will also get decreased. For example, if we double the potential difference, current will also get doubled, and if we halve the potential difference, the current will also get halved. By using V is equals to IR, we can get one more relationship, that is I is equals to V upon R. This expression gives the information about current and resistance relationship. It says that current is inversely proportional to the resistance. Means if resistance increases, then current will get decreased. If resistance decreases, then current will get increased. For example, if we double the amount of resistance, then current will get halved. Or if we halve the amount of resistance, then current will get doubled. Now children, with the help of the relationship which Ohm's law has given, V is equals to IR, we all know that potential difference is directly proportional to the current. And with the help of this relationship, we can draw the graph between V and I. If we draw the graph between V and I, we can see the graph will be always a straight line. You can see here in this figure, here we are having the y-axis which is denoting potential difference, and the x-axis is denoting electric current value. Now you can see the graph line, that is a straight line. So the graph between V and I is always a straight line. Now the next topic is resistance. Resistance is the property of a conductor to resist the flow of charges through it. Or we can say it is like an obstruction or obstacle which opposes the flow of current. In simple word, if I want to explain resistance, then I can say it is like mud. Mud collected in water pipe which obstructs the flow of water. As the mud obstructs the flow of water, in the same way resistance obstructs the flow of electric current. Resistance is denoted by capital R and its SI unit is ohms. The expression for resistance is R is equals to V upon I. Now the next topic is factors affecting the resistance. Resistance can be increased or decreased by various factors. If we use these given factors, then we can control the amount of resistance. These factors are: number 1, length of a conductor; number 2, area of cross section of conductor; number 3 is temperature; and the last factor is nature of material of conductor. Now the children, we are discussing the first factor, that is length of conductor. Resistance is directly proportional to the length of conductor. Now children, I am showing you this thing. As we are saying the length of conductor, it is directly proportional to the resistance, means if any one thing is increased, then the other thing will also get increased. If the length of conductor increases, then resistance will also get increased, and if the length of conductor is decreased, then the resistance also gets decreased. Now here in form of conductor I am taking this wire. A wire is also a type of conductor, so I am taking wire here. Now what I want to say here, I am taking a short wire here. It's a short wire. This is the short wire. If the length of conductor is less length means a short wire. If the length of conductor is less or a short wire is there, then the resistance will also be less. So for a shorter wire, resistance will be small. And if I am taking a longer wire, if the length of wire is more, this is a longer wire, and if the longer wire is there, if the length of wire is more, then the resistance will also be more. So if we are taking a long wire, its resistance will be more. Now it will be clear to you all with these sentences which I am writing here. Longer the wire, greater will be the resistance. Longer the wire, greater will be the resistance. And shorter the wire, smaller will be the resistance. For shorter wire, resistance is small. For longer wire, the resistance is large. Now children, the next factor is area of cross section of wire. Area of cross section of wire or conductor, it means the diameter of wire. If we are saying area of cross section, it means we are talking about the diameter of wire. So if I am showing you here, if diameter is less means area of cross section is less, then the wire will be thin. A thin wire has small area of cross section. And if I am taking this thick wire, more diameter, thick wire, more area of cross section. So a thick wire has more area of cross section. So in this way you can learn thick wire, more area of cross section, thin wire, less area of cross section. So we can continue now. The area of cross section of wire, it is inversely proportional to the resistance. Means if the area of cross section is less, then the resistance will be high. For less area of cross section, resistance will be high. It will be opposite. For less area of cross section, resistance will be high, and for more area of cross section, resistance will be low. So we can say here, thick wire which is having more area of cross section, it will be having low resistance, and a thin wire which is having less area of cross section, it will be having high resistance. Thin wire, high resistance, thick wire, low resistance. Is that understood? Now the next factor is temperature. Temperature. The resistance of pure metals increases when we raise the temperature, but resistance of pure metal decreases when we lower the temperature. It means on raising the temperature, the resistance also increases. On lowering the temperature, the resistance also decreases. In case of alloys like manganese and chrome, they remain unaffected by the temperature. It means if we increase or decrease the temperature, their resistance will not get changed. But in other case, if we are taking semiconductors and insulators, they are not following the same guideline. They are doing this opposite thing. Actually, when we are raising the temperature, then their resistance decreases. Now the last factor is nature of material. resistance also depend on the nature of material of conductor. As we all know that the conductors are of different types. Some conductors or wires are made up of copper, some are made up of aluminium, some are made up of silver. As their nature is different, silver, copper, aluminium, their nature is different, their resistance will also be different. So different materials are having their different resistances. It depends on their nature. Now children, the next topic is resistivity. Children, I have discussed some factors in the previous slide, the factors on which resistance depends. Now I am recalling first two factors, length and area of cross section. As we all are knowing that resistance is directly proportional to length, we can write down this relationship as R is proportional to L. And resistance is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. This we can write as R is proportional to 1 upon A. When we are combining these two relationships, we are getting one as R proportional to L multiply 1 by A, or we can write it as R proportional L upon A. With this relationship, we can get one formula, that is R is equals to rho L upon A. What is rho here? Are you able to see this figure? This is called rho. Rho is the resistivity. Rho is a constant which is known as resistivity. And we can find out the formula for rho or resistivity also. Resistivity or rho is equals to Ra upon L. Now, with the help of this formula, rho is equals to Ra upon L, we can define the resistivity. What is resistivity actually? Children are getting confused with this term. Resistivity is actually the natural specific resistance. It is like resistance, but when the length of conductor is 1 meter and its area of cross section is 1 meter square. So what is resistivity? Resistivity is natural specific resistance of a conductor which is 1 meter long and whose area of cross section is 1 meter square. The unit of SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. You can find out this unit with the help of the formula rho is equals to Ra upon L. Here you can see the unit of R is ohms, the unit of A area is meter square, the unit of L length is meter. When we are cancelling meter, then we are getting this unit SI unit of resistivity ohm meter. Resistivity varies from materials to materials. It means different materials have different resistivities. Copper will have its own resistivity, silver will have its own resistivity, and the resistivity of silver is the least. That's why silver is the best conductor. Now, one more thing I want to add here, alloys have high resistivity and pure metals have low resistivity. That's why we can say this line, we can write down this line as resistivity of alloys is much higher than the resistivity of pure metals. Children, in the slide I am just telling you about alloys. What are alloys actually? Alloys are the mixture of two or more metals. They have high melting and boiling point than that of pure metals. Heating elements of electrical appliances like iron, immersion rods like press which we are using at home, iron, these toasters also, these are having the heating appliances, the heating elements which are made up of alloys. Heating elements of these type of appliances are made up of alloys, they are not made up of pure metals. The reason behind this is, the first reason is alloys have high resistivity. The second reason is alloys do not undergo oxidation, or they do not burn easily even at high temperature. That's why the heating elements of electrical appliances are made up of alloys. Now children, In the presentation part 1, you all have learnt about the definition of conductors and insulators. But in this presentation part 2, as you all are familiar with the resistance, resistivity, so I am giving you the new definition of conductors and insulators. Conductors are the substances which are having very low resistance or their resistivity is very low. Examples of conductors are gold, silver, copper, iron, aluminium, etc. Now, if we are comparing all these conductors, then silver is the best conductor of electricity. It is the best conductor of electricity because its resistivity is the least resistivity. Insulators are the substances which have high resistance or their resistivity is high. The examples of insulators are glass, rubber, plastic, etc. Now students, I am adding one more term here, that is semiconductor. Now you will be familiar with the new term semiconductor. Semiconductors are the substances which have resistance not more like conductors, like insulators, not less like conductors. They have resistance intermediate between conductors and insulators, not high as insulators, not low as conductors. So what is the definition of semiconductors? Semiconductors are the substances which have resistance intermediate between conductors and insulators. The examples of semiconductors are silicon, germanium, etc. Now children, as the students are getting confused by the terms resistance and resistivity, I am giving you the difference between resistance and resistivity. What is resistance? It is the property of conductor due to which it opposes the flow of current. What is resistivity? It is the specific natural resistance of a conductor which is 1 meter long and which has cross-sectional area 1 meter square. The second difference is the SI unit of resistance is ohms and the SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Resistance, it depends on length and area of cross section of conductor, but in case of resistivity it does not depend on length or area of cross section of conductor. Now children, in this slide I am giving you some formulae which are important for numericals. In this chapter electricity you will have numericals also, and these three formulae, these are important for numerical portion. These formulae are, first is V is equals to IR. This you have seen in Ohm's law. The second formula is I is equals to V upon R. To find out the value of current, you can use this formula I is equals to V upon R. The third formula is R is equals to V upon I. If you want to find out the value of resistance, then you can use this formula R is equals to V upon I. Now children, after explaining all the terms, I am giving you one home assignment. In this home assignment, you have to write down the answer of the following questions. The questions are, what does an electric circuit mean? On what factors does the resistance of a conductor depend? Third question is, name the physical quantity whose unit is ohm. Question number 4, state Ohm's law. Question number 5, state the SI unit of resistivity. In this way, children, I am finishing this video, but at the end I want to tell you this thing that you can use. If you are seeing these videos and you are getting these notes you can write down in your notebooks, whichever notebook you are having, either it is rough notebook, whatever notebook you are having, in this notebook which is at your home, that notebook, rough notebook you can use, and in those notebooks you can write down these notes, you can write down the question answers also and start learning these terms. Okay. Sai Ram.